Because, viewers, as you know, the poll code will be kicking in any day now, as elections will, of course, be announced. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah has already intoned that the Modi government will enforce this law. Viewers, as I told you, the CA seeks to fast-track citizenship to persecuted non-Muslims from Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan who have sought refuge in India before December 31st, 2014. The exclusion of Muslims caused rights activists and opposition parties to accuse the Modi government of being anti-Muslim. The constant references to India turning into a quote, Hindu Pakistan unquote, led to weeks of rioting. You will all remember those bleak, dark days between late 2019 and early 2020, forcing the NDA to put the law on the back burner. Delhi was singed by riots, viewers. Then US President Donald Trump was in the capital. While he was in the southwestern pocket of the capital, the east was burning. Viewers, Hindus were targeted. Muslims were attacked in reprisal violence. Now, with the government poised to notify the CAA, expect another round of socio-political tumult. One just hopes this time it won't be violent. But the usual suspects have already reignited the campaign of calumny. Listen in, viewers. Listen in to what is being said.
बीजेपी के पास क्योंकि कोई मुद्दा नहीं है, क्योंकि उनको किसानों की आमदनी दोगुनी करनी थी, किसान बॉर्डर पे बैठा है, नौजवानों को रोजगार देना था, उनको पुलिस ऐसे दौड़ा रही है जैसे कहीं ओलंपिक का मेडल लेने जा रहे हों। तो है क्या, जनता को बताने के लिए कुछ नहीं है। इसलिए इस तरीके के कंट्रोवर्शियल इश्यूज जो है भाजपा मोदी सरकार बार बार ला रही है।
अब देखो, चुनाव आ गया है। चुनाव आते ही ऐसे मुद्दे सामने लेकर आएंगे जिन मुद्दों में देश डिवाइड होता है या जहां पर लार्जर कंसल्टेशन की जरूरत है। ये ऐसे मुद्दे हैं जिसपे सभी व्यक्ति से, सभी समाज से, पूरे देश के हर कोने से आपको कंसल्टेशन करना पड़ेगा। लार्ज स्केल पे, लॉन्ग टर्म आप कंसल्टेशन करके ऐसे मुद्दों पर आप निष्कर्ष पे आ सकते हैं। लेकिन चुनाव आ गया है, इनको देश से कोई मतलब नहीं है, इनको सीए से कोई मतलब नहीं है, इनको सिर्फ जीतना है। और जीतने के लिए अब इनके स्ट्रैटेजी में है कि देश को कैसे डिवाइड करें, किसको कैसे गुटबाजी में कन्वर्ट करें और उससे फायदा उठाएं।
But before the fire spreads and sparks unrest, it is vital to preemptively set the record straight. Let's examine the first claim, that the Citizenship Amendment Act is anti-Muslim and specifically anti-Indian Muslims, because that's what the opposition claims. Now, while there's no denying that the CA keeps Muslims from out of its ambit, the law doesn't apply to Indian citizens, Muslims or otherwise. The CAA only fast-tracks the citizenship of non-Muslim Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh citizens who have been residing in India prior to December 31st, 2014, viewers. These refugees will get their citizenship on a priority basis if they can establish that they have been living in India for 6 years. All other categories of foreigners must establish they have been living in India for 12 years. Second, no Muslim is debarred from seeking refuge from prosecution in India under the CAA. In fact, during the last 6 years, approximately 2,830 Pakistani citizens, 912 Afghani citizens, and 172 Bangladeshi citizens have been given Indian citizenship. Most of them are Muslims, viewers. Third, the law is not targeted against Muslims. Let's not forget that while the CA overlooks Muslims from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, it also leaves out Hindus. Tamils in Sri Lanka and Hindu Rohingyas are minority within a minority in Myanmar. In other words, the CAA is about securing human rights and not discriminating against a religion. Viewers, the left ecosystem also forgets that preferential treatment has also been dished out earlier under Indian law. The AAP spokesperson was saying wider consultations are needed on such sensitive issues. Well, viewers, Indira Gandhi's regime denied full citizenship rights to Pakistani Hindu refugees, but extended that right to refugees from Bangladesh and those cast out by Idi Amin's Uganda in 1972. So viewers, she created a classification where Hindus from Pakistan were not allowed refuge, but persecuted citizens from Bangladesh and Uganda were allowed citizenship. Viewers, that suggests that there is precedence for laws such as this. Fourth, the argument that the NDA is making a mockery of Article 14 is also not conclusive. The Supreme Court has cited the doctrine of, quote, reasonable classification, unquote, that allows the state to treat different persons differently if circumstances justify such treatment, unquote. This is what the Supreme Court has said, viewers. And you see how it is applied in this country. Most social justice legislations in India guaranteeing reservations to backward communities positively discriminates between various classes and castes of people. While, quote, reasonable classification, unquote, created by the CAA is being tested in the Supreme Court, it bears reminding that India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru had also thought up a CAA-like scheme. Nehru had reportedly written a letter in 1949 to Assam's first Chief Minister Gopinath Bordoloi, asking him to absorb refugees from East Pakistan, as Bangladesh was known then, adding that he, that is Bordoloi, would have to, quote, differentiate, unquote, between Hindu refugees and Muslim migrants. Yes, viewers, these are the cold facts. These are the hard facts. These are the indisputable facts. And as always, viewers, I bring them to you so you can cut through the hyperbole, you can cut through the canards and get to the kernel of the truth. Yes, viewers, because the truth is what matters. So when all those people begin to hit the streets in the next few days, you can challenge them. You can spread these facts. You can be part of the movement to counter this damaging propaganda. Viewers, it is astonishing that when the Modi government has adopted Nehru's philosophy in letter and spirit, the ideological left that includes the Congress party is hypocritically painting the NDA as communal. Viewers, the time has come to ask some basic questions. Why oppose a law that provides a shield against Islamist bigotry in Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, viewers? Let's open that. Let's ask the questions. Let's begin, viewers, tonight. And I want to start with the Congress party representative here, Mr. Kamru Chaudhary. Mr. Chaudhary, we value your insight. You're from a state where perhaps the impact of the CAA will be quite noticeable. We also remember how the first spark of violence was lit in Assam right after Parliament passed the CAA or the CAB, which was the Citizen Amendment Bill, and made it into a law. And that fire spread all across the north. So I want to ask you, in the light of all the facts that I have put forth, why would you continue to oppose a law which is based on the spirit of what Mr. Nehru argued for back in the day, what Indira Gandhi has already set into motion back in the day? Why, sir? Why would you do it? Why
Rahul,
incite Muslims?
Rahul, first of all, very good evening to you and the fellow panelists out here and your
Sir.
viewers. You have presented some facts, no
Yes.
denying the facts out here. Let me also present some more hard facts to your knowledge. What was the necessity for the Citizenship Amendment Act in the first place to be announced? The main reason being that 20 lakh people had failed the NRC list in Assam. One of the main important reasons for their failing was that they could not prove their citizenship in Assam. Majority of them surprisingly have turned out to be Hindus, and most of them are Bengali speaking Hindus, wherein a minuscule minority out of the 20 lakhs were Muslims out here. Now let me take back to the 1985 Accord of the Assam Accord signed between Rajiv Gandhi and the Assam Gana Sangram Parishad at that time, now known as the political party of Assam Gana Parishad and the Assam Students Union, wherein we saw the cutoff date was 21st of March 1971. So whoever came into India prior to the date were accorded Indian citizenship as per the Indian law or the Indian Citizenship Act as of Assam Accord. Now why I say that CAA is a discriminatory as well as a myopic law in the eyes of Indian secular constitution. Now what does the CAA aim to achieve? It aims to achieve the citizenship for those Hindus who have left out in the NRC and discriminates against those Muslims who might have been come on the same route. I'm not telling what was the reason of their migration, because as of now 1.31 crores Hindus are still there in Bangladesh. Now, are you giving an open invitation to these Hindus in Bangladesh to come to India because we are the protectors of Hindu religion out here of the world? We want to project ourselves at the Rakhala of the Hindus all around the world. Now, coming to the main point out here, 2023, there were 32,000 puja pandals, Durga Puja pandals in Bangladesh. Now, can I suggest or can I ask you that these 32,000 pandals, if the Hindus were discriminated, would have been possible in a Islamic country like Bangladesh, a narrow-minded country like Bangladesh or Pakistan? Now, I'll cite you another example from Bengal. Our honorable MP, Shantanu Thakur, is an MP from West Bengal. He was born in 1982, but his fathers came to India prior to after 1971. By that logic, he does not have an Indian citizenship. How did he come to be an Indian member of parliament? That is the basic question. Now, hardly I believe some 14 lakh people are there in Pakistan Hindus, some 40 or 100 people are there in Afghanistan. The law should not have been based on discrimination. Rather, it should have been come on, okay, first come, first serve basis. This is the cutoff.
Okay.
India claiming, one last point, sir. India claiming to be a Vishwaguru, couldn't he have taken his foreign office into convincing Bangladesh for the security of the Hindus in Bangladesh, or giving an open invite for the Bangladeshi Hindus to come to India, a 1.31 crore. We have failed to even provide their houses to the Kashmiri Pandits as of now, and we are talking to provide citizenship to somebody who is persecuted in a different country. This is all very wrong, discriminatory and myopic in my view.
Okay, in your view. I'm glad you attached that suffix. First things first, sir. Your first point was not a hard fact. It was based on an assumption that the NRC led to the identification of X amount of people, this, that, the other, so the government decided to bring in the CA. That is an assumption that is not proven by facts. It is certainly not. One second, now let me finish, sir, please. Now let me finish. You are, no, one second, sir. One second. I'm just making 4 points. I've noted them down, sir. You are breaking my chain of thought. I just want to, before I bring in Dr. Ranganathan, I just want to say, viewers, the first was an assumption. It could be true. It could be false. That is not a hard fact. So let's first set that aside. The second point he makes, viewers, is that, oh, you're going to allow all Bangladeshi Hindus into this country. He quoted the number, crores. Now, viewers, if you saw the hard facts, you will realize that there is no question of being swamped because there is a cutoff date. Anyone residing in this country before the 31st of December 2014, they're already here. They are not in Bangladesh, viewers. They are already here. It is only to expedite their citizenship, not people who are still there. Now, you could argue that why has the cap been placed? You can ask for that. If you want to be so protective of minorities in Pakistan, Bangladesh, etc., why have a cap? Allow them in tomorrow. And what is wrong, viewers? The same Congress party bats for the Rohingya Muslims to come here and settle. And they give them all sorts of privileges. But they have a problem with Hindus coming here. Viewers, that's the second point I want to make. The third point, this whole business of, oh, it is discriminatory. No, viewers, it is not. I have already quoted the statistics. Muslims from anywhere in the world can come and seek refuge. They may not get asylum status because we have not signed on to the international conventions, but they can certainly live here, prove that they've been living here for 12 years, and then in due process get their citizenship. Many Muslims have got it, many Pakistani Muslims have got it, including a great singer who is known by his song Lift Kara De. The only thing that needs to be lifted, viewers, today out of the mire are the Congress's dark arguments. And fourthly, Kashmiri Pandits, viewers, they say have not been given a home because, viewers, they are shot to death, targeted. It's got nothing to do with anything, but they will not admit to that fact. Nonetheless, viewers, I just wanted to bring these facts out. Dr. Ranganathan, what do you make of the arguments that the Congress is making, which I will tell you will lead to another one of those episodes that we saw and witnessed?
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. If what you say is true, then I congratulate Narendra Modi and his government, because finally, as I have said before, spine always grows in the back that is against the wall. And for too long, at least for 4 years, our backs have been against the wall. And I speak, when I say our, I mean persecuted Hindus around the world. The time has come for the CAA to be notified. And although it's been 3 or 4 years, as you mentioned, it does rekindle, and it's a bit difficult to recollect everything. But let me just give out a few facts there, Rahul. The CAA, I believe, and I've always believed, is morally just because of these following reasons. Number one, these border countries are Islamic republics, and therefore Muslims are not the minority. CAA is about India granting citizenship to those who are persecuted because they are not followers of the majority religion of Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. Two, it is a fact that India was divided on the basis of religion. It's a fact. Muslims could choose a home, and 75 million did. They chose Pakistan, a nation created for Muslims. But India wasn't created for Hindus. Post-partition in 1951, Muslim population share in India was 9%. Today it is 16%, some say even 20%. And what of the Hindus in West Pakistan? They were 16% in 1948. Then 1.6% in 1951, and today they are just 1.5%. And Hindus in East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, they were 23% in 1951, 15% in 1974, and today they are 7 to 8%. So in India, minority population share has grown, while minority population share in Pakistan and Bangladesh has decreased, dwindles, with millions persecuted, converted, killed. Where would the Indic people and Christians go? Three, my only disagreement with the bill or the act is that atheists, apostates and heretics, all condemned viciously in Islam, and therefore in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, should also have been included. It doesn't make sense to include all persecuted Muslims in Muslim majority nations. Should we now open our doors to 200 million Shia Muslims persecuted by the Sunni Muslims in Pakistan or elsewhere? Number four, CAA is about granting citizenship, not asylum, as India already grants asylum to lakhs of Muslims, including the Rohingyas and the Afghans. Number five, those calling this act Islamophobic ignore the fact that 500,000 ethno-religiously cleansed Sri Lankan Tamil Hindus currently settled in India are also excluded. Six, those outraging were completely silent, Rahul. For 70 years, when lakhs of Hindu refugees from what was then West Pakistan ran for their lives and settled in Kashmir, but were denied jobs, dignity, basic human rights because of Article 370. But that was of no concern because they were Hindus. Seven, the CPIM and the Congress in 2012 and 2015 demanded citizenship be granted to Bangladeshi minorities, i.e. specifically non-Muslim. The BJP granted it. They are up in arms now. And finally, another crucial point that most people don't realize is that the CAA is an amnesty that commenced on December 31st, 2019 after the 5-year cooling off clause. Only after this amnesty would come the nationwide NPR and then finally the NRC. This means that the purpose of CAA amnesty would be fulfilled long before the nationwide NRC commences. Because the CAA amnesty became operational on December 31st, 2019, one would expect that all eligible non-Muslim refugees would have already applied for the amnesty. Still, as I had suggested 4 years ago, a Muslim Indian without documents cannot. But a non-Muslim Indian without documents can still commit perjury and ask for the CAA amnesty, as the latter is applicable till perpetuity. Therefore, in order for both non-Muslim and Muslim Indians to be in the same boat during the NRC, the amnesty part of the CAA should either be repealed or a deadline set for it before the commencement of a nationwide NRC. No one should then have any issue with the NRC or with the CAA. I repeat, CAA is morally just. And finally, Rahul, this needs to be going around your panel. I want to ask, for those against the CAA, can you please tell me what is Khamong Sheikh? Tell me what is Khamong Sheikh. And
Okay.
I'll wait for your answer and then I will reply.
Let's get the lawyer from Bengal, Tausif Khan, to respond. Respond to that specific question that Dr. Ranganathan has posed to you, sir.
Rahul, you see, the amendment in CAA, there are
Tausif
three
bhai,
aspects
you
to
can
it.
continue.
This
Just
amendment
answer
is
one question, Tausif bhai,
unconstitutional.
With due respect, can you either know what is Khamong Sheikh or you don't? And then I just want to add to that. Do you know what is
No,
Khamong Sheikh?
Anand, you have had your time. Now let me have some my
Rahul,
uninterrupted
can I
2
please
minutes.
inform your viewers
What
what is
we'll do
Khamong
is,
Now-
yeah, please make
now-
your point quickly. What is
Yes,
Khamong Sheikh?
yes.
Yeah, let him just 1
Yes.
second. Tausif Khan, 1 second.
Now-
Just let him finish what he rhetorically asked, and now he's supplying the answer. Yes, please.
Yes, because I know Tausif bhai and Kamruji wouldn't know what is Khamong Sheikh. Khamong Sheikh is a region where hundreds of Hindus were raped, pillaged, looted, killed, murdered and buried, some alive,
You were with
in
Come
Burma.
on,
and it was done by Rohingya Muslims.
You
and
were-
many
you
of
were
them,
present there and
many
witnessing it.
Don't
have escaped
try to mislead
India.
the nation out
We
here.
are-
You don't know the Bangladesh history and you have not
Anand-
read the Bangladesh history out here.
Anand-
We are
No,
not
no,
talking about
no,
Bangladesh,
no,
we are
no,
talking
no,
about
no,
Myanmar.
history.
Anyhow.
Myanmar, Bangladesh
The point
border.
I was
That's what
making,
I'm
Rahul,
talking
was-
about.
Okay,
It
one
doesn't
second.
know
Let
about
Tausif
it.
Khan.
It
Okay,
doesn't know
gentlemen,
about
gentlemen,
the
just
Cookie
1
Rice.
second. I have
He
already
doesn't
made
know
this
about the
point.
migration of the Cookie
Okay,
Rice.
okay, gentlemen,
He's
gentlemen,
speaking
one second.
about that all.
Gentlemen, I've already made the point that the CA doesn't discriminate just against Muslims.
it does.
It also please, sir. It also discriminates against Rohingya Hindus, minority within a minority that has suffered. I can't even tell you the horror of horrors.
Now,
The horror of horrors, and we have
Rahul,
reported this
Rahul.
story. And many,
Rahul, can I continue?
international
Rahul,
rights
can I
group
continue?
have
Because
brought
I
it
was
out. Yes,
interrupted.
yes, Tausif
I was
Khan.
interrupted.
I want you to tell us what is the problem. What is the problem, sir, with giving refuge to people living in this country already before a particular cutoff date, who have been completely eviscerated from their belongings, from their roots, from
you
their
see-
loved ones by
see-
Islamist hate? Simple question,
you see,
sir.
there is no problem
Okay.
from giving refuge and from giving citizenship. In fact, the existing law, the law which existed, the citizenship law before the amendment, had given all the power to the government to give those citizenship. But the problem with the amendment in CAA is that, one, it is unconstitutional. Two, that it is only a political tool to appease Hindu voters for BJP for election purposes. And three, it fails to achieve its stated purpose. It creates more problem than solution. Now, when I say it is unconstitutional and discriminatory, it's not only me or Mr. Kamruzzama from Congress who's saying. It is even the United Nations Commissioner for Human Rights has gone on record and said that it is fundamentally discriminatory. So any amnesty law, even in the international community, will be objected upon, and when the matter is pending before the court finally takes up the hearing and decides, it will be struck down as unconstitutional. Secondly, when I say Hindu-Muslim polarization, the stated purpose is not actually to give citizenship. The government has all the power to give citizenship. Now, the reason why why it creates confusion and problems more than solution is because people who are already living in India, people who already have got voter ID, PAN card, Aadhaar card, and various other documents, and claim themselves to be citizen, first they will have to declare themselves as a foreigner, go before the foreign registry office, declare themselves as a foreigner, produce all the documents that is listed under the NPC and NRC, and then prove themselves to be the citizen. Now, in this process, how many people who are already claiming to be citizen will have to declare themselves as a foreigner? How does it solve the problem? It creates more problems. It creates more problems than it gives solution. We have a case in hand from Assam, where more than 20 lakh people, the former president's family members, are declared to be not citizens. No, any
you
law.
got that factually or wrong on that point. I will bring in.
CAA can never be read in isolation. It has to be read with national
there is no link.
population
There is no
register
link.
and
There is no
NRC.
link. No, sir, stop doing that. There is no link. It is very clear there is no link. In fact, let me tell you one of our points. The CA has no link with NRC. The legal provisions regarding NRC have been part of the Citizenship Act since 1955, since December 2004.
National population register.
Sir, please.
National
Now you're
population
changing the
register of
goalpost to
Indian
NPR, to this. No, okay, one second.
Together.
Rahul,
Okay,
it is
okay,
Supreme Court
okay.
mandated.
Only mislead
It
your
has been
viewers.
mandated by Supreme Court.
Hundreds
NRC.
of
Yeah,
articles are there. Your viewers can go and read those articles.
First of
Why
all,
this creates
right.
damn
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. First of all, he said it is unconstitutional. 1 second. Viewers, the matter is still pending before the Supreme Court. No one has ruled. Dr. Ranganathan, if I am wrong, please correct me. No one has ruled on this issue.
Rahul, it has been mandated. Tausif bhai, please don't do this. Rahul, NRC has already been mandated by the Supreme Court.
Exactly.
By the Supreme Court, 300 tribunals were set up. Anybody, and it is religion agnostic. Tausif bhai is the one who's communalizing this, including Kamru bhai as well. This is the problem. Congress wanted it. UPA wanted it. Chidambaram. Look at this in 2005. In 2005, it was the Congress that said that presidency court in drafting and updating the NRC in Assam. But when BJP does it, it is a problem. Congress does it, there is no problem. Congress brings Rohingyas, it is no problem.
Okay.
But
okay.
Rahul,
Deshratan Nigam.
Let us discuss on hard facts.
No, we are discussing on hard facts. The only thing I'm getting from you is rhetoric.
allowing
I've just heard Tausif
bring in
Ahmed
facts
saying
collectively.
3 points he made. 1 second, Tausif Ahmed, he said it's unconstitutional. I've corrected him and fact checked him. The Supreme Court has not declared the CA is unconstitutional. We go by the law of the land, not by the law as pronounced by Kamru Chaudhary, Chief Justice of the Indian National Congress. Sorry, that's one thing. Secondly, he said it's a political tool. Again, viewers, that is a subjective. Yes, okay. That is a subjective interpretation in this gentleman's mind. It is not a hard fact. Okay? And third, it fails to achieve the stated purpose. Viewers, when we have not even notified the rules, how do we know it has failed to achieve the stated purpose? This is a contradiction in terms. Nonetheless, this is what has made up for the 3 arguments that have been placed by Tausif Khan. I want to bring in Mr. Nigam. 1 second. Mr. Nigam, you're a lawyer. You've been studying this issue. Where do you stand on this, on the points that are being raised by the Chief Justice of the INC?
Rahul, let me be very clear and specific on this subject, that so far as the sovereign right of a country is concerned, country has a right who comes inside and who goes outside. That's the sovereign right of the parliament in India. And it is non-discriminatory so far as Indian citizens are concerned. There is no discrimination. It does not affect Indian citizens. And therefore, India has a sovereign right and nobody can take away that sovereign right. We have similar laws abroad also. And the biggest example is the Lautenberg Amendment of 1990 of US, where persecuted Jewish and Christians in a minority country have been given the citizenship right in USA, and it is renewed annually out there. And therefore, and such laws have been upheld by those countries' highest courts.
Yes.
And therefore, we also have a similar situation. If Muslims have a problem Islamic country, it is their internal affairs and they must handle it. You certainly cannot declare a certain section of a Muslim community like Ahmadiyas that you are not Muslim, and therefore India should come in and take everybody, as the example of Shias was given. Therefore, we are very clear it is non-discriminatory. Political tool, as you said, is a subjective matter, no doubt, and people will try to implement it. And stated purpose also, it has not yet been notified, as you rightly pointed out. It will achieve its stated purpose once the implementation of CAA begins. That is, as and when the rules come, which are probably going to come up in the first week of March, which I believe. And let me also tell you that the entire NRC and CAA, they have no relationship. And as rightly pointed out, CA was mandated by Supreme Court. And what we are saying today, people bring in Rohingyas. Let me tell you, under the UN law, once they enter the Bangladesh, the first right of refuge is there in Bangladesh. Once you cross over into India, you have no status, because that's the first country under the UN law. You have to get a refugee or asylum or whatever status. Why do you have to come to India then? Crossing Bangladesh, coming to India. That means there is some kind of ulterior motive where Bangladesh has set up all the camps and everything, and UN is also monitoring all that. India has not signed that UN Convention on Human Rights or Refuge, and therefore we have a right to decide our own policies as a sovereign country, and nobody can question that. Only our Supreme Court can look into it. How is it unconstitutional if we decide who comes in and who goes out? This is our sovereign right. Nobody can take away that sovereign right.
Now let me tell you, viewers.
Parliament
Now, one
is
second.
creature of constitution.
One second.
By sovereign
One second,
act
sir. One
cannot be
second. One second.
unconstitutional.
Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, you want to make a quick point. You're pointing out something. It's a fact. So please tell us.
Yes.
Yes.
Number of Rohingya refugees currently living in USA, 5,000, Europe, 3,000, Jordan, 1,300, Indonesia, 1,200, Canada, 1,100, Japan, 560, Qatar, Muslim nation, 20, India, 50,000. 50,000.
And I want to add a point. The largest Muslim country, viewers, with the largest population is Indonesia. And in Indonesia, viewers, here it is, the report from Al Jazeera. They picked up Rohingyas and they threw them out of their country. Mercilessly. Mercilessly. Now, viewers, this is a Muslim country. And is the left marching in the streets?
Rahul,
No.
can I come in 10 seconds?
No, 1 second. I need to move on now. I need to move on because there are other stories. See, sir, I gave you enough time. I gave you at least 8 minutes on the top of the show to make a substantive political. I asked you to make substantive political. No, 1 second, please. I asked you to make. No, again, I'm moving on. Please, sir, the debate is over. All 4 of us have spoken. It's not as if people have not had airtime. You've had quality time. Tausif Bhai has had quality time. And everyone else has spoken their hearts out. Now, you can't make a point succinctly enough that I can't help. I don't have stretchable time. This is not IST. I want to move on, viewers. China is India's enemy number 1. We all know this, viewers. One former defense minister, George Fernandes, said this openly in an interview. Subsequently, of course, it has been reiterated. And its hostile intent and actions are apparent to anyone, from Galwan down to the south, viewers. Under the circumstances, any entity in the country giving an exalted status to China will raise eyebrows. And that's what has happened today, viewers. And I want you to look at this picture on your screens. Can you see it in the middle, viewers? This was an advertisement that was put out by DMK Minister Radhakrishnan. Yes, viewers. This was an advertisement, full page, massive, in all newspapers this morning in Tamil Nadu. And what was it announcing? It was announcing that the Prime Minister and the state's Chief Minister would be inaugurating a new ISRO launch spaceport. Yes, viewers. And guess what, viewers? There is no sign of an Indian flag or an ISRO rocket. What we see is a rocket with the flag of China printed on it, viewers. That's right. This new launch site is coming up in Thoothukudi with the Prime Minister and top DMK leaders inaugurating it. And viewers, the advertisement features China. It's an ode to the dragon, viewers, this advertisement. Naturally, the Prime Minister targeted the DMK over the poster, calling it an insult to scientists, Indian scientists. But DMK MP Kanni Modi defended the poster, saying China is not an enemy state. Listen in first to the Prime Minister and then right after that to Kanni Modi, and I'll open this up, viewers.
इन्होंने तमिलनाडु में इसरो लॉन्च पैड का क्रेडिट लेने के लिए चीन का स्टिकर चिपका दिया है। भाइयों बहनों, ये तमिलनाडु डीएमके के नेता, उन्होंने देखना अब संभव नहीं रहा, कुछ देख ही नहीं सकते हैं, और जो देख नहीं सकता है उसको क्या कहते हैं आपको मालूम है। और इसलिए भारत की प्रगति देखने को तैयार नहीं है, भारत के स्पेस की प्रगति देखने को तैयार नहीं है, और जो पैसे आप देते हैं, जो टैक्स तमिलनाडु के भाई बहन देते हैं, उन पैसों से उन्होंने एडवर्टाइजमेंट दिया, और एडवर्टाइजमेंट देकर के उसमें भारत के स्पेस का चित्र नहीं रखा। भारत के स्पेस की सफलता को वो दुनिया के सामने, तमिलनाडु के सामने रखना नहीं चाहते थे। उन्होंने हमारे साइंटिस्टों का अपमान किया, हमारे स्पेस सेक्टर का अपमान किया, आपके टैक्स के मनी का अपमान किया, आपका अपमान किया। ऐसा आंखें बंद करने वाले, पूरी तरह न देख पाने वाले ये डीएमके को अब सजा करने का मौका आ गया है।
I don't think India has declared China as an enemy country or anything, because I have seen that the Prime Minister has invited the Chinese Prime Minister, and they've gone to they've come to Mahabalipuram or anything. Just because you do not want to accept the truth, you're finding reasons to divert the issue.
Now, viewers, if this was a honest mistake, I'm not implying anything, I'm just asking a question. If this was a honest mistake, wouldn't the DMK have just simply regretted it and said, look, some person messed up in the department responsible for this advertisement and put a Chinese missile rather than an Isro rocket or even an Indian flag? But no, viewers, here you heard Kanni Modi, who's related to Mr. M.K. Stalin, his sister. She comes out defiantly justifying this by suggesting that China is not an enemy country, so it doesn't matter if on an Indian project we give China the basic advantage. What to make of this, viewers? Let's ask this question, and I want to go straight across to Dr. Ranganathan on this. We also have Amayaka Narayanan, Congress leader, who's of course, the party is in alliance with the DMK, and we have BJP leader also with us. Let me begin with you, Dr. Ranganathan. I don't know what to make of this, because I'm just going to ask you, does India's enemy have an Indian fan or fans in this country? Perhaps many, I don't know, but I mean, this is what it appears.
Apologies, Rahul, but I completely disagree with you. I think you're taking it too far. Citizens of China will celebrate China. What's wrong with that? I mean, I don't understand that. And you know very well that.
So you're saying they all have staple visas?
No, you know very well that a very famous editor, I'll just say Hey Ram, has been in charge and has been surreptitiously, covertly or overtly advising the DMK. In fact, Ms. Kanimoy, who you named, is the president of Hindu Employees Union. So maybe that is what advising the DMK party does to you. No, but these things apart, jokes apart, it is a real tragedy. I don't know, it's a farce. But the fact of the matter is that when the DMK and its cohorts, they castigate and they say Muslims are being persecuted in India, Modi is a fascist, and so many mosques are being demolished, they completely ignore the fact that for the last 4 or 5 years, 1.5 million Muslims have been interned in concentration camps in China, are being fed pork and alcohol. 1,700 mosques have either been demolished or their structures changed. So they no longer look like mosques. There is complete silence. But here they want to talk about saving and, standing up with Muslims. So there is double standards there, of course. As far as this, I would put it down to complete ignorance or the fact there's so much hatred against India that they don't really mind. They don't really mind trumpeting and eulogizing a country that actually murdered 40 or 20 of our Jawans back in 2020.
In Galwan, yes. America Narayanan, I just want to ask you, how can we give such a huge pedestal to China? And if it was an inadvertent error, then accept it. But how can anyone justify it, especially when they use Indian taxpayer money?
First thing is, if I were them, I wouldn't have put the China's emblem there. Having said that, I saw our Prime Minister Modi talking about our taxpayers' money and DMK doing that. And I remember it is with our tax money, the Prime Minister has several times not given what is due to the Dalits. It is due to with our taxpayers' money where he has derided one person's act and talked about being used by the entire Communities Act. The problem is, it is not only they take the tax money spent by Congress and putting a person
1 second,
to pay.
Mr. Narayanan, this is not a forum to make. One second, to compound. 1 second, to compound. 1 second, Mr. American, let me just step in here, please. This is not a forum to compound one mistake with another bunch of 20 mistakes. Please, I want to specifically ask you a question. The Congress party, now you are a sensible person, Mr. America Narayanan. You say that you do not support this. Shouldn't the Congress party issue a statement saying that this is not in our name? I'm asking you.
Our taxpayers' money and deriding our citizens all over. Using our taxpayers' money, he went abroad and derided the Indian democracy. The first time in New York where he set an example of criticizing India in a foreign thing. So the Prime Minister, my Prime Minister, has no legitimacy in talking about using taxpayers' money to do this. And having said that, let's talk about China. He is, after Jawaharlal Nehru, the highest amount of land has been ceded to China by none other than the so-called brave 56-inch Prime Minister. Let's be clear about that. Let's talk about China.
No, 1 second, Mr. Narayanan, can you give me some proof of this? Because you're dangerously close.
Yes,
to perjuring yourself. There is no proof here, viewers. I want to ask you. Can I ask you a question? You're a Congress leader. Can I ask you a simple question? Is it not a fact that the only political party in this country that has actually got an MOU, a secret one, with Xi Jinping's Communist Party is the Congress? Is it not true?
No. The first question, I think you're trying to see. You're trying
No,
to be like
there's nothing.
a
I'm not
BJP
trying to see.
leader.
Is that the reason why? What BJP? It's a fact. Is it not a fact? Denied. Denied. I'll show you the pictures. I'll show you the pictures. Sonia Gandhi with Rahul Gandhi leaning over her, Xi Jinping standing next to her. In fact, and they're both signing an MOU. MOU. Now, viewers, when I ask this question, I am accused of being a BJP spokesperson. I mean, come on. 1 minute.
Rahul, 5 seconds.
Yes.
No, my good friend Americai ji is absolutely right. My good friend Americai ji is absolutely right that Indian government ceded land, in fact 640 square kilometers of our land, Eastern Ladakh, to China. He's right. But he doesn't mention which government. He says Modi government. No, it was the UPA. And who admitted this? Mr. Sham Saran, who was the UPA secretary. He was the one who said that UPA ceded 640 square kilometers of Eastern Ladakh to China. So it is the Congress that has ceded land. Mr. Americai, get your facts right.
Now here, viewers, is a photograph. And you see Rahul Gandhi in his trademark jacket signing an MOU. And there you can see is the Chinese Prime Minister. Guess who's behind them, viewers? It's Xi Jinping. And there, of course, is Sonia Gandhi. And there is Anand Sharma, MOS State at that time for External Affairs. All three of them are busy signing a document. Secret, viewers. It's a secret document. Therefore, perhaps the Congress party has not come out and even condemned their alliance partner for issuing such an advertisement. I want to bring in the BJP, Madhuvanti. Ms. Madhuvanti, I want to ask you a very specific question here. And it's not an easy one. Because many people will say that, and especially the Congress party, will say that we have done this because Modi has failed to show red eye, lal aankh, to the Chinese. Our trade numbers are still burgeoning with China, etc., etc.
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. They can say what they want. I truly don't seem to worry about it because I think everybody in the Congress is influenced by Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So whatever they speak, I don't seem to understand. Probably I have a poor understanding capacity because they just, Mr. Americai just went around in circles when you asked him about a simple rocket's picture of Chinese flag on it. That's all. My point here is who pushed away the Chinese army from Ladakh even during a very, very tough period during Corona.
Yeah.
Who banned TikTok and 59 other apps, Chinese apps that were causing problems here in India. It was not the UPA government. Who did all of this? And Miss Madam Kanimuri has the attitude to say that the PM went for a walk with the Chinese premier. When was that? Was that now?
Okay.
That was before Corona.
Viewers, look, the fact of the matter is that I'm surprised at the silence of the DMK's partners. The DMK is justifying this. The partners are silent. Why are they silent, viewers? That's the $1 million question, maybe $1 billion question, maybe $1 trillion question. I don't know. But it is a big question. And it's looming large. And America and Narayanan can't bring himself to tell us what is the compulsion. Big breaking news coming in, viewers. Big merger, strategic joint venture announced. Reliance and Disney have announced a strategic joint venture which will be India's biggest media joint venture. Reliance will have controlling stake, Star will have 37% stake, Viacom to have 42% stake and RIL 16% stake. Neeta Ambani will be chairperson of the joint venture, Uday Shankar to be vice chairperson. Deal valued at over 70,000 crores. Let's go across to Pallavi Ghosh for more on this. Pallavi, what can you tell us?
So this, of course, is Rahul going to be a huge game changer. It's one of the two biggest players in the field coming together, and that is going to be a huge achievement. And clearly, Reliance is going to have the controlling stake, as we have been pointing out. Now, Star as well as Reliance, both of them are big players in the market, and them coming together, it also brings in some of the best in the field. Of course, as we pointed out, as Neeta Ambani is going to be the chairperson, but Uday Shankar, who has a huge experience. I mean, he's been associated with some of the biggest brands in the market, whether it's Starline, whether it's been Viacom, and now he's going to play a pivotal role, which means that you capture a large chunk of the market in what is being seen a multi-regional digital platform, a multi-dimensional platform. So this is going to be a huge game changer, and I'm sure it's going to start reflecting into the market tomorrow also when they start opening, Rahul, it just goes on to show that he are going to change the entire dynamics of it.
Entire dynamics of the media space is going to change. Viewers, this is a deal massive, monumental and transformational. 70,000 crore media merger, viewers, with two of the biggest brands internationally. I'm going to take a short break, viewers. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
अब से 50 साल Hooda and DK Shiv Kumar are coming. So they are trying to put all the efforts. On the other hand, of course, Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu is also showing a brave face. Now he has realized that it is not about Rajya Sabha election. Rajya Sabha election is done and dusted, and they have lost the battle. Now it is about to protect the government, save the government in Himachal Pradesh. Till yesterday we were talking about Rajya Sabha seat, that how 6 Congress MLAs cross-voted, how when Congress party have 40 MLAs and 3 independent were with them, could end up at the losing side. But today it is all about saving the government, and Congress party will have to put every effort to placate those MLAs. Rajendra Rana, and also Sudhir Sharma. These are the people who, in fact,
all right,
those 7 other MLAs.
Arun, please stay with us on the broadcast. There's the latest bit of news which is coming in. Well, yes, Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu continues to insist he's not going anywhere. He continues to be the Chief Minister. But we get you some more information. There are certain front-runners for the Chief Minister post if Mr. Sukhu quits. Mukesh Agnihotri, he's the Deputy Chief Minister. Vikramaditya Singh, Rajendra Rana. All of these are the names that are doing rounds right now. I'll try and cut across to my colleague Pallavi, who's with us on the broadcast. Pallavi, speculations are rife, and rightly so. This is a time when it looks very difficult for Mr. Sukhu. He continues to maintain that he will remain the Chief Minister. The government is stable. But I'm sure there's a lot of internal competition, to say the very least, within the grand old party.
Well, I think it's still very, very early days yet, because I think those 2 observers who've been dispatched by the central leadership will first speak to each and every MLAs. And if you listen to what Mr. Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu had to say when he addressed the media a short while back, he remains defiant. In an ideal situation, no one would want to change the CM, because essentially it means you're then buckling under pressure. He was also chosen as the Chief Minister because it was felt that he had the support of a maximum number of MLAs. But the names which keep coming up is of Rajendra Rana, again one of those MLAs who did cross-voting. Then you also have Vikramaditya Singh, but he does not have that kind of an administrative experience. And just merely the name is not going to be enough. And also the names of Mukesh Agnihotri, but he also belongs to the Brahmin lobby. Rajputs hold a large amount of population as far as Himachal goes. So those are the factors which have to be kept in mind. But as of now, no one is talking about successors, Anusha. No one is even talking of replacing Mr. Sukhu. Only thing is that Sukhu has made it very clear that I'm going to fight down. But if that is what the central leadership thinks, that me going away is going to save the government, then so be it. But there are no takers for this kind of an argument. As I said repeatedly, Anusha, you buckle under pressure from the MLAs. There's no guarantee it's not going to happen to you again. At this point of time, it is very important to keep the BJP away. That's what the Congress is trying. That's also the reason why they did not want that vote on budget to take place, because they are a little apprehensive that can there be another cross vote. If you cannot pass the budget, your government is deemed to be ineffective and having lost that majority. So these are the kind of optics which are now being played out.
The optics which are being played out, my colleague Pallavi and Arun Dhata continue to get us all that information, all that's happening in the politics of Himachal Pradesh right now. Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu says he's here to stay. There's open disgruntlement against the sitting Chief Minister. The Congress top brass, 2 observers, Mr. Hooda and DK Shiv Kumar, are in the state. They're likely to reach Shimla and take stock of the entire situation.
जो हमारी अभी परिस्थितियां है वहाँ हमारी मेजॉरिटी है, और ये भी ना सोचे कुछ उनके साथ के विधायक भी हमारे संपर्क में हैं। निश्चित तौर पर मैं ये दावे के साथ कह सकता हूँ कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो ड्रामा करना चाह रही है कर रही है, और उस ड्रामे को वो अच्छा निभा रही है, और अच्छे कलाकार हैं। बहुत बहुत
सर इस्तीफे की ये कौन फैला रहा है ये इस्तीफे की?
ये मुझे समझ नहीं आया। मेरे को तो अभी फोन आया, क्योंकि मैं तो विधानसभा
inside Vantara, the world's largest animal rescue facility. Meet the man behind the vision.
So we have created it as a Sevalya.
Anand Ambani in an exclusive chat with CNN News 18.
In today's life, you can't see God, but I see God within every animal.
A special show tonight at 9:30 p.m.
हुआ था ऊपर स्पीकर के कमरे में और डेढ़ दो महीने से ये 1.5-2 घंटे से ये न्यूज चल रही कि मुख्यमंत्री जी ने इस्तीफा दे दिया। वो भी जब विपक्ष के नेता ने मेरे पास वहाँ जो हमारे विधायक थे, कांग्रेस के विधायक बैठे हुए थे, उनके पास आके कहा पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री जयराम ठाकुर जी ने कि मुख्यमंत्री ने इस्तीफा दे दिया, तब मैंने स्पष्टीकरण देना शुरू किया कि मैंने कहा हम योद्धा है, युद्ध की तरह लड़ाई लड़ते हैं और ये लड़ाई युद्ध की तरह लड़ रहे हैं, हर चुनौती का सामना करते हैं और हम जीतेंगे निश्चित तौर पर। मैंने कोई इस्तीफा नहीं दिया है, कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार 5 साल चलेगी। धन्यवाद।
That was Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu saying that there is no resignation that he has handed over. Once again clarifying that the government will stay in power for the next 5 years for the term it has been elected for. That's the word coming in from Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu as far as all the rumours concerning the fact that would he resign, would he quit as the chief minister. His advisor also officially issued a statement and said that all the rumours doing rounds that the present chief minister will resign is something that's not true. These are rumours. I'll cut across back to my colleague Arun Dhata. Arun, the fact that opposition alleges the members of the House from the opposition were suspended so that the government could pass its budget. He goes on to point out that this is perhaps for the first time that for them it has been difficult to get through a budget. For an elected government, it's difficult to get through a budget. Clearly, opposition taking pot shots at a very critical juncture, at a very delicate point right now for the Himachal Pradesh government.
That's right, and Anusha, BJP can say here that we haven't done anything in this. It is Congress party's own MLAs who are not happy with the top leadership, with the Chief Minister Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu, and therefore they are resorting to these things. And yesterday, 6 MLAs of the Congress party who cross-voted in favor of BJP's candidate. BJP is saying that it was their own decision. Their own party, their own MLAs are not together. In fact, are raising questions on Chief Minister in front of him.
Arun, please go ahead. We can hear you just fine.
Yes. So when MLAs, your party's MLAs are raising questions on Chief Minister in the presence of Chief Minister, I think it creates a huge challenge for the party to actually rectify everything what has happened so far. And I think that was the reason why they immediately shifted the likes of Rajiv Shukla, who's the in charge of Congress party in Himachal Pradesh, Bhupesh Baghel, who has been in fact their go-to man in every election wherever Congress party contests. They send him there, and now we are seeing that all other Hooda and DK Shiv Kumar are coming. So they are trying to put all the efforts. On the other hand, of course, Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu is also showing a brave face. Now he has realized that it is not about Rajya Sabha election. Rajya Sabha election is done and dusted, and they have lost the battle. Now it is about to protect the government, save the government in Himachal Pradesh. Till yesterday we were talking about Rajya Sabha seat, that how 6 Congress MLAs cross-voted, how when Congress party have 40 MLAs and 3 independent were with them, could end up at the losing side. But today it is all about saving the government, and Congress party will have to
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsiman. Let's start with the good news for all Bharatiya. First up, ladies and gentlemen, big relief to passengers. Railway authorities have decreased the ordinary class fares by approximately 50% on all mainline electric multiple unit trains. That means those which start with their train numbers designated starting with 0. Additionally, revisions have been made to the fare structure of the unreserved ticketing system app also. Aerospace major Boeing has enhanced India's India-based sourcing of components and services to $1.25 billion per year as part of its commitment to Make in India. And also, as per new reports, the company, despite currency depreciation, has said that the annual sourcing from Bharat has risen from $250 million to over $1.25 billion, nearly a decade, with supplier network expanding 1.5 times. In fact, in other development, a big major joint operation carried out by the Narcotics Control Bureau, the Navy and the Gujarat Police, a gigantic consignment of 3,132 kilograms of drugs has been seized from a ship near Gujarat's Porbandar. 5 people so far have been arrested. Home Minister Amit Shah has hailed the biggest offshore seizure. That's what has been called by the government and the Home Minister, and said that the historic success is a testament to the government's unwavering commitment to making Bharat drug-free.